Hello, everyone, and welcome to Claret and Booze. My name's Nick, and this is my daily ramble slash match review from the game yesterday. Now, look, I do apologise if you can hear any background noise. I hope it's nothing like what I've got in my fucking ears. I've got Thames Water cutting the road up outside. They've been here for about 2 weeks, 3 weeks. They're retracing their steps now. It's like they've chopped all the holes in the road and they've closed them all up, and now they're fucking opening them up again. So I don't know whether they forgot to put the pipe in or something, but they've just been abusing me, blocking me into me drive. Fucking, it's just been an absolute nightmare. It's just added to my woes for this year. It's been a shit year this year. What with West Ham? But anyway, look, that's enough of that moaning. Like I say, if you can hear anything, I do apologise. I've tried to cancel it out with some settings and stuff like that. The other thing as well, this is the second time I've tried to. I don't like doing two takes. I do one take. And if there's mistakes, there's mistakes. But I got abused by the dogs earlier on. I was all the way in, 9 minutes in. The fucking dogs come flying up the stairs. Something's coming through the letterbox. They've got my son's RAM upgrade for his PC. He's got it in his mouth. His tail's wagging as if to say, "I'm going to rip this fucker up. I'm going to rip it up." So I've had to go and tackle him, literally wrestle him, take him out of the room. So this is my second attempt. So anyway, on with the match review. As always, if you're new to the channel. And you like these stupid antics from me, please drop a like on the video, and why not subscribe while you're at it. Okay, let's try again. Last time, I'm not doing it again. Right, okay. So West Ham went away to Manchester City last night at the Etihad. We weren't expecting anything. We weren't at all. It was, it was a bit of a dead rubber game for me. My preference would have been to have rotated all of the players out. We did rotate some, even though David Moyes has put it down to a mystery illness, a superbug that's only kind of affected a few key players, Just Aguirre, Souček and Rice. Everyone else, they're all right. I would have also rotated out Antonio, even though he did look fresh, and he kind of helped us a lot in that first half, I thought. He put a lot into that game. They all did. I kind of had us down to be 3 or 4-0 down by half time, but that wasn't the case. We set out with Fabianski in goal, Cresswell, Oggy and Kehrer in the back three, Emerson and Soufal as wing backs, Fornals, Paqueta and Downs in the middle three, with Antonio and Bowen. But that wasn't the shape. It wasn't a 3-5-2. It was out of possession. We had 5 at the back. So Soufal dropped into fullback, Emerson dropped into fullback. And then you had Fornals, Paqueta, Downs and Bowen forming a 4 in front of them. So there was 2 defensive walls. We weren't like camped really deep, but we just made it almost impossible for them to play through. And look, City weren't on it, were they? They couldn't find the pass. They wasn't themselves in that first half. We kind of knew it was going to change a little bit in the second half. But we did a good job. We was all happy going in at 0-0 at half time. You couldn't knock it. I was thinking to myself, fuck me, if we can keep on at this, they're having an off day. We're frustrating them. We could nick something. We could do what we've done at Palace 3 times. We only need that once. One set piece, that's all we need, and we could get something here. But it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't meant to be. 5 minutes into the second half, they did us with a set piece. Silly mistake from Cresswell. Downs goes in, makes a stupid challenge to try and recover the situation. He doesn't recover it. He makes it worse. Gives them a free kick in shooting distance, but they don't shoot. They float a ball to the back post. Ogbonna completely and utterly breaks our defensive line that we're holding. He kind of just gets out-thought by the offensive players in the City team that were attacking the corner, and he basically just got shoved in front of the attacking players to keep them onside, and then they lost him. He lost the flight of the ball, lost what was going on. Great ball in. Ake, 1-0, game over. We're not going to get back into it. No, we didn't carve any chances out anyway. The most that we could hope for was something from a set piece. Antonio was doing a good job. He was really roughing up their defenders. He was rattling Ruben Diaz as well, who should have had a yellow card, by the way. Horrible tackle on Antonio in the first half, and then he shoved him, and he was manhandling him, and he was just living in his head. Antonio, they weren't enjoying playing against him. But from the minute that Antonio went off, that was it. Because the David Moyes system, that is the typical thing that he does against a big team, is to sit deep, rigid, and try and catch him on the counter. And Antonio was in the mood yesterday. But the minute we took him off for Danny Ings, that was it, wasn't it? what was the point in that? Why not put Cornet on? What was Well, I mean, it would make more sense to put Cornet on, playing in that system. Danny Ings is not a counter-attacking player. He can't hold the ball up. He hasn't got pace. He's a fox in the box, and we weren't creating chances. You need to bring on a player that's going to sort of do it himself. That's not Danny Ings. And what he did was, his only contribution was to Man City, Stupid sloppy pass. Obviously, all of a sudden, Grealish is running through the middle, releases Haaland for what was his second clear chance. Kehrer dealt very well with the first one. Great tackle, I thought. Could have been given as a penalty because he kind of caught the player, but I was happy with the challenge. I think he had to. If he didn't make that challenge, Haaland's on his left foot. That's a goal anyway. So it was definitely a brilliant tackle from Kehrer, who I'll talk about in a bit. But so Haaland burst through on goal, and you can't defend against that at all. There's just nothing you can do. He's gone. Fabianski comes out, makes himself big, or as big as he can, and he just clips it over the top of him. He did get kind of a slight fingertip to it, Fabianski, but there was nothing that he could do. And that was it. So Haaland broke the the all-time record. He'd already broken the 38-game season record, which was 33 or 34 goals, or he'd equaled it or whatever. But now he's kind of surpassed what players had achieved. Players like Andy Cole and Alan Shearer had achieved in the 42-game season in just 31 games. What a fucking player. Sicken him. I mean, look, let's face it. They're the best team on the planet. There ain't no one. There's no one better than them. There's just not. Especially now they've got him. He's a cherry on the cake, isn't he? There's not much you can do once their tails are up, and they were more up for it in the second half. They weren't ever not going to win that game. But thankfully, the damage wasn't too bad. I mean, 3-0 I'll take. What, we level or one worse off than Leicester now in terms of goal difference, but we're still streets ahead of all of the others. They're sort of 10 goals worse off, aren't they? So you got to take that. It is what it is. We was never going to win ever. He rotated out a few players. Antonio got a bit of a rest. Like I said, I would have rotated out a few more, but I suppose damage limitation, he had to not allow us to capitulate too much, and we didn't. We did compete. We did compete in the game, so I'm not too displeased with it. And there were some fucking good performances from a couple of players as well, who we will touch on now. We're going to zip through the player ratings. So, Lucas Fabianski. Right, let's see if this works this time, because I had a nightmare last week when I tried to do it on my own. I say do it on my own. I always do this on my own, but for some reason it did not work. Lucas Fabianski, I don't think he did anything wrong. He made a couple of good saves as well. I don't think the goals that he let in were anything to do with him. So I'll probably give him... Fabianski, I'll give him a 6. I'll say it was an average game from Fabianski. Like I say, I don't think he did anything wrong in this one. Some of his distribution was really shit because he was under pressure and he was being rushed. But look, it's Fabianski. That's always going to be the case. Aaron Cresswell, I thought had a decent game, particularly in the first half, apart from the mistake that he made, which, like I say, Downs had to recover. So for Cresswell, I'm going to leave the 6 where it is. Like I said, I don't think he did anything massively wrong. It's a shame for Ogbonna, because Ogbonna was going to be on for a 7 or an 8 had he not made that fuck up for their first goal. I thought he was a colossus in the first half. He really was, winning everything in the air. He was brilliant. But it's unfortunate that he made that mistake that led to their first goal, which was a critical goal. And I'm gonna mark him down for that. So I'm gonna give him a 6 as well. On the balance of play, he did really well. This was City that we was playing against, and we did our best. But Thilo Kehrer, now the last 2 appearances that he's had, he was fantastic against Arsenal. I've always maintained there is a player in Thilo Kehrer. Always. I've never doubted him. I've admitted that he's had poor games and he's made mistakes and he's a bit rash. But you don't get to play for the clubs that he's played for and play for your national team and represent Germany if you're shit. Okay? He's not shit. He's good. He's incredibly good. Yes, he's a bit rash. Sometimes it's going to go wrong. But look at the tackle that he made on Haaland. No hesitation. I like that. I like players that don't hesitate, Sometimes it is going to go wrong, because he is, people say it's rash. I call it decisive. He makes a decision and he fucking does it. He had a really good game. He was fantastic. His passing was good. He was sharp. And on the whole, he kept Haaland quiet. He did. I'm going to give him an 8. He's going to get an 8 from me, Thilo. That was fantastic. Really encouraging because we've got Zuma out. And yeah, and obviously we'll talk about Soufal in a minute, but now Soufal's out as well. I think Soufal had an okay game as well. We're going to talk about him, but I think he was massively helped by Kera on that side. Kera was fantastic yesterday. Proper, really good performance. Absolute class. You know, he wouldn't have looked out of place playing for City. He's that type of player. You know, Kera playing in a progressive team would look world class. He would. There's no two ways about it. He's not so much a backs to the wall defender, although with his back to the wall yesterday, he did bloody well. Okay, Vladimir Soufal. I thought he did all right. Nothing amazing. I'm not going to talk about him too much. Going to give him a 6. You know, the one cross he did put in was shit, but it materialises that he's pulled his hamstring just as he pulled the trigger. I thought it was one of them, you know, hamstrings that you pull when you've just done something shit and you kind of rub your leg afterwards to style it out. But that wasn't the case. He has pulled a hamstring, and how severe it will be, we will find out. He's obviously going to go for a scan today, and we'll find out a little bit more. But he's going to be a massive miss because he's been brilliant the last few weeks. Palace game aside, where he was shit because he was tired, but he was. We know his levels. You know, when he's rested and he's on fire, he's a brilliant fullback. So we need him back. But for his performance yesterday, I'll give him a 6. I'm going to give him a 6, and I hope he's going to be available for the running, but I'm not hopeful. So Emerson, I thought had a brilliant game. Yeah, really weird. You know, he played against Palace in the first half, got subbed off at half time, along with Fornals, and he was fantastic in this game. This system really worked well for him because he is a wing back, right? He's not typically a fullback. And when you got Cresswell on that side as well, when we was in possession, Soufal pretty much stayed as a right back. So when we were in possession, that back 5 moved into a back 4. Cresswell shifted out to the left back, and that allowed Emerson to push up and join the attack. And join the attack he did. He was very good. He was bombing forward whenever he got the chance. And his interplay with Paqueta and Fornals at times was brilliant. So, I think Emerson for me, I'm going to give him a 7. I think it was a thoroughly good performance. I really enjoyed that, and it was good to see him bounce back after a nightmare that he had at Palace. Well, not just him, everyone did, didn't they? But yes, Pablo Fornals, Pablo, been calling for you to play in the middle, mate. You had a bit of a nightmare, really. Some of your decision making was look, and I don't put it down to him. I do feel like he's not in a good place. I feel like he's one player that has had his confidence crushed from David Moyes. You know, his game has been changed. He's been turned into more of a mercurial kind of defensive player as opposed to an attacking flair player. He's had that sucked out of him. He's been out of the team. You saw his reaction when he scored that goal, the scorpion kick. He's an emotional wreck at the moment. But he was no good, really. You know, some of his interplay was nice. I don't necessarily think him and Paqueta seemed to go together for some reason. I thought they would because they're both passers. But yeah, some of his decision making. I mean, the shot that he had from the halfway line, you're just like, fucking, why did you do that? What was the point? And then the other one, he got a chance in the box, didn't he? On the right hand side, and he kind of just got confused. So I'm not going to donk him up at all. But it was a below average performance, so I'm going to give him a 5. Feel sorry for Pabs. I hope he stays here when that dickhead leaves us in the summer, and hopefully some other manager can come in and recover this situation with what is a fantastic player, because I love Fornals, and we know there's a great player in there. Lucas Paqueta, he was good and bad in equal measure. Some of his interplay was brilliant. Some of his little tricks and flicks and dragbacks were good. He wouldn't have looked out of place on the City team, would he? But then he gives the ball away a lot. Like, he was really giving the ball away a lot yesterday. He kind of, you know, you can't dwell on the ball against City because they snap at your ankles. They press you. I think he went missing. I didn't like how he kind of feigned injury as well. When Rodri went in on him, didn't touch him. I was looking for the contact. I thought, what are you rubbing your ankle for? And there was no contact there at all. He didn't roll his ankle. That was Paqueta just wanting a hole to open up in the ground and swallow him up. He'd had enough at that point. He should have been hooked. Lanzini should have come on. He should have come on. But no, so I'm going to give him a below average. He gets a 5. I think Downs had a solid game. He was good defensively, flying into tackles, high energy, really good, really enthusiastic, but gave away an absolutely fucking stupid foul in the wrong area. Picked up a yellow card as well, which means that he couldn't play his natural game for the rest of that half when we needed him to. So again, below average from Downs for me. He had a decent game, but these are things that affect the game and swung it in their favour. So you've got to mark them respectively. Mikel Antonio didn't get a chance created for him at all, but kept on battling, kept on running, beat their defence up, was really good. Should have had his life made a little bit easier by the fact that Diaz should have got a yellow card. So he frustrated into the fact where they've lunged in. They should have been on a yellow card from quite early in the first half, which would have changed the dynamic a little bit, because then they've got to manage Antonio a little bit different. But it didn't happen. You know, there's protection, as we know, against these teams. But I'll give him a 6. I think it was an average Antonio game. He put a lot into it. He did. Bowen, I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't really notice too much. I didn't notice too much from Bowen. Worked hard. He looked. There was a couple of runs that he made, but to no avail. So again, it wasn't really a great game for the forwards. I think Antonio had a much better game than Bowen. Therefore, I'm not going to donk him up, but I'm going to give him a 5, slightly below average for me. Okay, on to the pound shop. Mahrez, as my son called him yesterday when he came on. Bless him, Ben Rama. Even though Mahrez wasn't that great, was he, yesterday, to be quite honest? I didn't think he had a good game. But yeah, Benny came on, didn't do much, to be quite honest. There's not really too much to talk about, is there? He didn't really do anything wrong, not that I can think of. But yeah, just leave it as a 5. Below average. Didn't affect it at all in the right way. Johnson came on for Soufal when Soufal went off injured. Johnson, as we know, has had a few nightmares when he's played recently. Johnson's another player I feel sorry for. I think he was a promising player when he came into the team. He's never really had a run. He's been disrupted. He's had his position shifted. He's been used as a utility player. And he's gone from... He should have been a specialist right back by now if it had been brought through and developed properly. But when you're used as a jack of all trades intermittently like that, I think he just looks like he's lost his way a little bit. I don't think he did anything terribly wrong, but Johnson was, positionally, his passing weren't great. Positionally, he got caught out a few times. I'm going to leave the 5 there. And then for this man, Danny Ings, who, like I say, I haven't got anything against him. I think he's a good striker in the right system. For instance, playing for City, Danny Ings would score 20, 25 goals a season easily. He would. Because he's in the box and he's always where he is and he can finish. He's a good striker. But for West Ham, he ain't going to score. He's just not. I know he scored a couple for us, but against Forest. But fuck me, he's. I wonder how many times he's actually touched the ball. And when he did touch the ball yesterday, he completely ballsed up, didn't he? So no, I think it was a bit of a disastrous cameo from what has been a bit of a disastrous signing. And I think a lot of people called it. I mean, I was quite excited when we bought Ings because I like Danny Ings. I thought it signalled that we may change the way that we play and go 2 up front. But I was obviously being naive. As always, there is no sense, nothing tallies up with players that we buy and the system that we play. We just buy different types of players and try to make them fit. I mean, our transfer policy is fucking bizarre. It always has been. Why buy players that don't fit your system? And that's all we've ever done. It's mental. So now Danny Ings gets probably worse than a 4. I'm going to give him a 3 for his impact. So just duplicate Dave's donkey. Just very, very quickly. Right. Sorry, Dan, but you were a donkey, mate. You really were. Right, on to David Moyes. The donkey stand where it is irrespective of score because he is a fucking donkey. He is, isn't he? I mean, some of the shit he comes out with, honestly. He was asked in the pre-match press conference about fatigue And he went, yeah, he was talking about the game, basically the burnout at Palace. And he went, yeah, so there's no way of knowing, really. There's no way of knowing about fatigue. I was quite surprised. There's no way of knowing. It's your fucking job to know. You're the manager. There's loads of tests that they can do for player fatigue, both physical and medical. He should know, but he doesn't give a shit, does he? He's just a plum. That's all he is. He is the Joe Biden of football managers. I don't care what anyone says. But he did get it right tactically in this. He did rest some players. We didn't get absolutely crucified. The performance was fine. I didn't get the subs. The in-game management was shit, as usual. Taking Antonio off was right, but bringing Ings on? Why? What's the point? You've got Cornet sitting on the bench. What the fuck has Cornet done to him? What has he done to him? He's a natural replacement. If you're playing counter-attack, bring Cornet on. But no, he does what he wants because he's fucking useless. I'm going to give him a 6 average. 6 and a donkey. For me, my man of the match is going to go as per the scores. Thilo Kehrer, I think he was a clear man of the match. And I do think Emerson was the next one. I think Thilo Kehrer was fantastic. Absolutely brilliant against the best attacking team in the country, if not Europe, if not the world. He was brilliant. See, he's not shit. No, he's not. And he'll get even better when he's not playing football for a div. Okay, well look, that's that. We're pushing on to Man United next. We're without Zuma. We're going to be without Soufal. He's not going to have recovered by then, even if it is minor. He's not going to be back. So there are going to be some losses to key players, but we've got Kehrer that looks like he's just coming into form. Fantastic. Oggy played all right. Cresswell always looks good in the back three. So yeah, I don't know. We should have a very fresh Rice and a very fresh Souček as well. I don't know. I don't know really. It's a game that is more winnable, or at least something we can get points out of against Man United. Man United are not Man City. They're nowhere near. So at home, we should be able to expect us to at least push Man United and try to get something. Because if we do, if we get a point, if we get a win, we're safe. Just go for it. Fucking go for it. Go for the game. And then we can relax and we can enjoy the European exploits. If we don't, then if we lose that, because I don't like the fact that the two teams directly underneath us that are separating us from that relegation zone, we've got to play them in the last two games. It's Leeds and Leicester. They're only 4 points away from us. So they've only got to pick up 2 points between now and the time that we play them. And we could be shit. We could be shunted down there. I've already said Forest. I think Forest are going to push out of it because when you look at their running, they've got loads of winnable games. So, yes, I'm incredibly worried. Until we get those 3 points, West Ham are not safe. No, we're not. Personally, my prediction for the Man United game is a loss. I don't think we're going to win. Listen, if I predict a win, we typically lose. So it's hopefully good luck. But I think we're going to lose against Man United. I think we will. And then it's all on AZ. And then 2.5 days later, you got Brentford. So if that happens, what do you do then? What do you do? Do you rest your players for the home leg against AZ? Or do you go for the semi-final and semi-final at home, and then 2.5 days later have potentially a fatigued first team that if Palace pulled us apart, Brentford probably will as well, because Brentford are a better team. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But it's not my problem. We shouldn't be in this situation. This is David Moyes' fucking problem. He's the one who's got to fix that. He's got to solve that little conundrum. We shouldn't even be having this conversation. He's made this... this should have been such an easy cup for us to win in retrospect, It really has. We've had the easy side of the draw as well. But he's literally just made it as hard as he can for himself through being so shit in the league. And, it is what it is. I still think we can win it. I still think we can stay up. But it's been so difficult and unpleasant, and it really has. But anyway, look, that's it from me. If you enjoyed my very, very miserable video, as always, then drop a like on it, subscribe to the channel, and we will see you a bit later. Come in your irons.